Alright guys, fall's approaching and I got music going on in the background. It's too quiet around here for all that. So, my bag, it's time to change to my fall bag here pretty soon. Just gotta go get it, of course. As far as what I got in the bag, I keep a bandana just in case for the UV rays. A 12-pound mono, which I'm about to go get some braid. Not a big fan of braid, but I've heard good things about it. I just always was taught that, mono or fluorocarbon's the best because fish can't really see it. But this is, Mustad 12-pound. You can get it at Walmart, it's $5 or $6. I mean, the only crappy thing is when I put it on my bait caster, it slips off the reel, so I have to get some line back. But even then, so it's not too bad. I mean, I'm not using no high-end equipment. I got my 4 trays here with everything I got, bait-wise, my go-tos. And with fall approaching, I might have to add some things to the collection. Now, I'll show you the rods real quick. It's pretty funny, honestly. Okay, these are 6-foot rods, and this one's a 4-foot rod. Okay, this is a ready-to-fish 6-foot rod with a spin reel. It's got 1 ball bearing. And I think I already tore up that ball bearing. Because every time I set the hook, it slips. But it's like the brakes, the non-backing brakes is out of it. But I'm about to, I got to put a new reel on it here pretty quick. It's an ultralight pole. Pretty flexible. Not mad at it. It's caught me a lot of fish this far. Honestly, I would buy more. Not too bad. Only thing I hate is every time I do a hook set, a 2-pound fish feels like an 8-pound fish. But I know it's an ultralight pole, so I guess it's thrill of the chase. Even a bluegill, it tears this thing up. But I fished lakes. I pulled 4-pounders out with this. I promise. Okay. I wouldn't just review over 2-pound bass. I do a lot of finesse fishing on this. I wouldn't say my spinner baits, because it's just like the rod tip. Every time I do spinner baits with this rod, it feels like it ain't spinning, and it's like this the whole way. And so I learned quick that I'm just hurt myself when I try to do that. Next, this one's a funny story, honestly. So the pole's a Shakespeare reverb. And it's got a Ozark trail reel, which is about $20, $25. The pole actually came with the 4-foot reel as a pack set. It's one of those cheap $15 reel sets with the little baits in it. Same with the ready to fish. But honestly, so far, besides the line slipping, it's not a bad reel for the money, and it's a 6-ball bearing system, and it's got a 6:3:1 gear ratio. I wish I had something like, I was a kid, I had a Quantum PT Touring, best reel I've ever owned, and I miss it to this day, and I wish, I wouldn't have got rid of it. But God's to honest truth, this reel is not half bad for what you pay for. And I've pulled some pretty good fish in. Now, the reason why I put this reel on this rod is not because of, any kind of money issues. It's because I like this rod, and I have perfect hook sets with it. I don't know why. It feels like an ugly stick, honestly. I mean, it's not a half bad rod. And I usually run all my worms on this. Senkos, my finesse worms. You know, crankbaits. You know, I get jiggy with it sometimes. You know, it's a lot to talk about when I run off of 3 poles. Okay, so kind of bear with me. This one, I've caught a lot. I've caught a lot of bass with this. This 4 foot. It's it comes up to my chest and I'm 5'6". Dude, it's so funny to me because every time I go to lakes, I have to bring this. I'll run a chatterbait on it. I'll sit here and I'll yank back with it, and I still get perfect hook sets with the other pole. But it would be awkward to put that bait caster on a 4 foot pole. I mean, a 5 foot pole. You know, originally I tried it. I was like, you know, I might make it my flipping stick. No, I end up putting this push button in. About to make it in the commode. Or, I'm sorry, the sink. You know, I can pitch it right there, on the money. And I have a lot of control going under docks and stuff. You know, you probably need to use a longer pole. I think a 7.3 is what you're supposed to be flipping and pitching with. But, you know, it's been working for me. I've caught fish out of every lake and every pond with it already. It's all this pole. Yeah, it's cheap. Don't get me wrong, it's cheap. And believe it or not, the pole is a medium a medium strength, however you want to call it. And it's not too bad. I'm gonna put these up. I'm already tired of them. It's pretty bad whenever you backlash that reel because sometimes it get wedged into the sides, but that's from it being a cheap reel. But you know, me and that reel got an understanding now, and it doesn't really do much. Extra pair of socks for just in case. I carry 2 kinds of pliers. I hope I put that other set in here. I don't even know where it went. Pliers, stringer, you know, just in case if I do catch a wall hanger, you know, there's always that possibility. Okay, so I'm going to go through my tackle box and tell you what I'm going to be using this fall. And, oh, do I have this Sharpie in here? Cool. I have this Sharpie. I can kind of mark which deals I need to do. First of all, the only size hooks I use is a 4/0. And I usually put on a offset hook. I know it's a big hook. I usually tie that on with my Senkos and my flukes. And then I usually run a Texas rig with this. But I can go weightless with my flukes with this heavier hook. It sinks just a tad bit faster. I'm not saying that I'm right whenever I say that. It's just what I'm feeling. Since it's coming into fall, I'm going to be using my fall colors. And so I'm going to mark on my boxes what I'm going to use. I'm going to use frogs because they're going to be, you know, in the shallows during the fall. Trying to bulk up on weight. They want some frogs. This green frog's more or less summertime to me. The frog, the green skirt is a little too much for, you know, fall time. So I'm going to tie on this yellow and brown legs. Perfect to me. Of course, it matters, you know, if you're around lily pads or whatnot. These just cheap $2 Walmart ones. So that being said, this yellow frog, is about to be my best friend for early in the morning. I might be able to snag some in the afternoons. Who knows? Next thing I'm going to be using is, I like to run small baits. I don't like running big baits. It's not that it's weird for me or anything, and I don't have any kind of expertise in it. I just don't like running big baits. I'm more of a finesse fisherman, and smaller to me gets the same amount of strikes as if I use something big. Yeah, if I'm fishing a tournament, I'm going for a big fish. Of course, I'm going to pick up something bigger, but it's probably going to be a jig, to be honest. I'm going to run this, I'll call it a husky jerk, but it's a Walmart special. I'm going to be running this a lot. I'm going to have to use it on the spin reel because that's the only thing that can toss it. It's made out of balsa wood, so it's really lightweight. Even if I can get the small enough weights to do it, it would be awesome. But some little bullet weights, right against this eye to weight it down to get it out there. Even if it's like a not quarter ounce, that's huge. A 1/16 of an ounce weight, a 32nd of an ounce. The smallest ones you can get. I have a fly rod too. I should have brought that out as well, but another segment. But no, I'm gonna be running this. I like the color. It's red in the front. Let's see if I can get that close enough. It's gonna be red in the front, and it's gonna have the yellow on the back, and it's gonna have the white on the sides, which it's gonna run just like a regular shad. I also got a minnow colored one, if I can see that they're going on minnows. Not in this one. There you are. Actually, first cast I threw this out. It's jerkbait season, boys and girls, okay? So, a good old jerkbait ain't bad to keep around. But no, I got the minnow colored one. First cast at my original pond, I got something, it was a pretty good sized one. I'm gonna use this more this fall than I have ever, I can honestly say. Back to the colors, I'm going on tangents. I run my flukes. Watermelon red. That's the only thing I'm going to keep with it, is watermelon red. I thought about switching to pumpkin, but I feel like the only strikes I would get is just a reaction strike and not a hunger strike. Did I get that backwards? I probably did. Not half bad. So I'm going to keep them two out, because that's just what I'm going to roll with. I also got this Heaton Baby Lucky number 13. It's a $10 lure, and I end up getting it at a flea market for $3. I had to talk them down. And it looks pretty awesome, and I can't wait to use it. So this is bass colored. It's got the bass stripe. I'm going to run with some of that this year, and I hate topwaters. And since I'm running topwaters, it's fall season, so that means they're moving to shallower waters, and that means they're going to be hitting the surface more or less often. Also going to run another popper. Walmart popper, $2. I'm going to run that. It's white with some flash, and it's got the same tail. Same color tail. It's going to be white. It's more of a pearl color. They didn't really give you a, description. Another crankbait I'm going to be using, or a crankbait I'm going to be using, is going to be this crawfish colored diving crankbait. It's not too bad. It's gonna be a medium depth. It's not gonna be, extremely deep. Uh, I'm gonna try to get away from these rooster tails. I went today just to see the reactions, and I tried this pond. I tried last night, and it seemed promising. They were biting at my top water, my Whopper Plopper. So that still kind of told me that it's not fall temperature yet. I mean, it is, but it ain't. Especially here in Texas. This year is rough. But no, watermelon red flute. I don't even know why I still have it in my hand, honestly. That's how I'm going to keep it out. That's that yellow frog I showed you earlier. I'm going to kind of put these in categories. Another thing I'm going to try to use. I'm going to use this little Cleo wiggle lure. It's a spoon. That's all it is. It's just hyped up. I'm going to run with 2 hooks. I don't really like running treble hooks. Of course, I'm going to be throwing a swivel onto it about 6 inches up. I might do it closer to the bottom. I don't know yet. But I got a lot of old schoolers telling me that they never went wrong with a spoon or a daredevil. The only problem is it gets stuck every chance it can, and it ain't weedless. So that's going to be a contender. That's more for my deep water. I'm not going to throw that off the bank. If I'm on the boat with Ethan or, a couple other friends, if I'm not on the boat with them, I'm not going to throw it. It's not worth just losing a lure in a pond. I mean, I can use it for better appliances, I guess you can say. Another thing I'm going to be throwing is I'm going to be throwing my square bill crankbait. Couldn't tell you what kind this is, sorry. But pretty good color. It's kind of scarred up from over the years. But I've held on to it for a little bit. And I've cleaned it up and tried to make it look nice and pretty. But the stains just won't come out. It's had a lot of fish on it. But I hate crankbaits. And this is only the real, a build crankbait is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about crankbaits. Good contender. Good contender. It looks like a Spro. Another thing I'll be throwing. This box is like empty. I lost a bunch of lures today when I went, and it sucks. Like, I lost a whole lot. And then not all of them got lost like that. They got so mangled. Like, for instance, how does this happen? First of all, I'm down to 1 hook. The skirt is completely off that. The rod's bent. This thing, I don't even know. And the spoon is right here, which is bent. I picked it up and threw it once. I'm upset. Like, that's some cheap crap right there. Same with this one. The blade came off of this one too, and the rod's crooked. Crap. I might have to do some switcheroonies. That's what it looks like. For this fall, I'm going to Texas rig, of course. It's the quickest to pick up, yada, yada, yada. You should know what a Texas rig, if you're actually going to try to fish. There should be a YouTube video before me, of course. But, I'm going to try to run a Carolina rig on most of this fall. I'm not going to say all of it. I'm going to try a Carolina rig it. And I don't know what I'm going to tie onto it yet. But I'm doing some fishing this fall that I don't really normally do. And I have the lures, and I've had them, and I just, you won't rarely see me pick up these, and they're called jigs. I don't really pick them up. I know how to fish them, but it's too cut and dry for me on those. But before we get into my deepest, darkest little demons over here, I'm going with lipless crankbait. Looks like a bluegill. It's actually for $2. That's not a bad looking lure, I can safely say. I got another one on my other pole. It has the same color. It has the same color as this, except for half the paint's come off. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get some chrome for them low light days. And since the leaves are falling, it's like the bass are going nuts. Especially today. I caught like a good 5 in one spot. These are what I'm trying to get out of. I'm trying to get out of these rooster tails. You know, for me fishing ponds, and I'm gonna actually try to bass fish it. But I'm trying to get away from them. But lakes, I won't really, pick one up. I picked one up on Lone Star, and I ended up catching like a little old bass. I wasn't mad. I started laughing, and Ethan was like screaming. It's like, how do you even do that? Man, I'm sorry. Another thing I'm going to pick up, since we're talking topwater, and it's topwater season, for sure I'm picking up this Whopper Plopper. It's see-through, it's old, couldn't tell you the kind. But it's not a bad setup. It came in my box of goodies. I bought at a yard sale. And same with this one. It was like $2 for all. And it had like spoons and some random crap in it. Nothing. What am I thinking of? I'm not throwing none of that. Also, if you're just going out fishing, just to fish and not going after anything big, a beetle spin, I have a whirly boy on it. I'm not going to throw that this fall. I'm just not. Buzzbait, not picking up no buzzbait. Don't need no buzzbait. I don't even know why I have red in the first place. Peanut butter and jelly. I'll be using that more at nighttime. My peanut butter and jelly spinnerbait. And then I know I have more spinner. There it is. I'm gonna be throwing a black spinnerbait again from Walmart. Do I have 2 buzzbaits? Oh no, I lost that other one in a tree. I got a red one. I'm not even gonna throw it, but if something calls for it, I'm there at it. I guess if there's a lot of crawfish in it, I don't know. Jig time. My most hated enemies. Boy, I hate them. But I'm told, if I want to catch something this fall, and I'm listening to other folks and professionals, not saying the professionals are wrong, but I have better luck on everything else. My most hated enemies. Oh, where's my... I knew I was missing one. That's my chat. Okay. Take it easy, it's on the glass. Alright, so I'm going with this. It's called Sandstone. It's a color. It's got a little bit of red in it. Not bad at all. I actually spend money on my jigs because it's so rare that I pick one up that I think they're going to inflate in value here pretty soon. So I just keep it locked up in the stowaway for that just in case moment that I come upon some rocks in a pond. And out on the lake for sure. For sure, I fish structures with my jigs. So, and I got white. I need to put some rattles on it. This one doesn't even rattle. Throwing white, still weedless. Black and blue, because that's what I gotta do. I'm gonna hit him with that right hook. Black and blue, low light conditions. Water's really dirty. White's good for, really sunny outside. I'm not gonna pick up this white a lot this year, so I might as well just put that back in the box. You're not really gonna see me throw it. The black and blue. I'm starting to live by black and blue, and I'm not a big black and blue fan. I don't like the color setup. I don't like how dark it is. But that's just me. I can see where it comes in, where it just casts a shadow, and you got some time to think, as I call it. And it's a good lure, and like I said, I just don't like the color setup. I'd rather throw a PB&J. I'll just say that. That'll make it easier. Let y'all get in my mind. I'd rather throw a PB&J. And the reason being is if I'm trying to mimic a bluegill, I think the PB&J is way closer. But the drawback of PB&J is it's hard to really match it up unless you have a purple lure. My chatterbait, it's got more flash on it, and it's the only one that it had left, so I just went ahead and got it. I think I was going to Perky Lake, didn't know how to fish it. I've been swimming there, and I fished it once, but not from boat, just from the boat ramp. So I'm gonna start throwing this fall as well. All my stuff is 1/4 ounce. All my jigs. I think that's a good. I think this is 1/2 ounce, matter of fact. My black and blue is 1/2 ounce. I think that's the only one they had, anyways. So I'm gonna throw them. But if I'm fishing lily pads and I'm punching, and I got my 65-pound braid on, I think I'm just gonna make the bait caster for sure, just a punching rod. I thought about doing it to the 5-footer or the 4-footer. 5-footer. 5-footer. So I'm thinking about doing that, and as well as the worms. Get these out of my face. I can't even look at them. I still don't know why I bought them, honestly. Like I said, I just never fished Perky like that. Get all that stuff out of the way. So, my fall colors. I call it a whole. This is just my bug out bag, guys, so try not to hate in the comments too bad. I got watermelon seed, not using it. I just decided this is a Senko. I call it a Senko. It's called Yum Dinger. I'm not gonna be throwing it. It's not my color. Motor oil. I'll be throwing motor oil. Throughout. Certain days. I'm waiting for the legs to finally turn. They haven't fully turned yet, so. I got a lot of motor oil, by the way. It's just one of my favorite colors. Just no specific reason. Sometimes I have luck with them. And the same next day, same temperature, same everything. It's just one of my must-haves. Don't know what y'all's is, but these are my go-tos when I figure out that nothing else really wants it. I don't even know where the bag went, for that matter of fact. I'm down to my 2 Senkos, my most hated color, black and blue. These are my Strike King shimmy sticks. And it's got the blue tip. Okay. Not really gonna be throwing them unless it's a low light day, of course, as in everything else dark. I tried this. Someone told me to put a Senko on my chatterbait. It produces a lot of strikes. No, not at all. First of all, the color scheme was way off. The color scheme was way off, and it just didn't look right. I mean, it was like, oh, I can show it to you. What am I thinking? It was like that. Someone said, try that. Didn't work. Take that out of the arsenal, ideology. $50 word of the day, ideology. This is more of what I'm throwing. The hyped up. What is that piece of grass? The hyped up watermelon red. Watermelon with red flake. I'm gonna be trying it out. Everyone tells me in the fall time, stick with the watermelon red. I guess that goes everywhere. Every lake I go. What are they biting on? Watermelon red. Oh, okay. I might as well just save the breath at this point. I don't think they're even paying attention anymore. Don't use these a lot. I finesse fish, yes. But only on lakes. On ponds, I might do it a couple of times. And this is a finesse worm. I love finesse worms. They're one of my favorite baits to throw, but I'm not going to throw them in a pond. These are the Super Salt Plus, and these are Zooms. Very versatile. I can see that going on a jig, but I'm not going to do that. It's not a good trailering setup. Been there, tried that, still nothing. So, it's not a bad bait. I can wacky worm the crap out of that. But it's fall time, so I'm going to try that Carolina setup, or Carolina rig. Also, got some more finesse worms, watermelon red. Did I buy 2 of the same? I'm about to be mad. I guess I did. I didn't even know. Super value. Okay. Put this back in the sack. I just realized I bought 2 of them. Kinda mad. this is what I like putting on my black and blues. It is June bug. It's got a short body, long tail. Keeps it, keeps it somewhat more weedless in my, expertise of fishing. But it's not a bad deal. It's gonna look just like this. And that's on my black and blues. It tends to work better whenever I punch, and I got that 50-pound braid. It helps it punch way better. Sometimes I might even put on something a little bit, bigger, which will be, and this is still June, and I went to this back creek, and it's on one of my previous videos, and I was throwing out, where are you at? This sucker's huge. This one? Hang on, I'm looking for it. I have this huge one. I guess that is it. It's been so long since I used it, since I went fishing. I reckon that's it. I threw this huge June bug. It is every bit of a foot long. Like, it's ridiculous. And I caught a lot of fish on it. I might want to try that setup again. Got a lot of fish just using this, and I'm guessing a jig will make it look way better. But man, it's awesome. I might have to buy some more of these. They're huge. It's got that good U-tail to it, and produces a lot of strikes. Another trailering tip is I'm not going to be throwing fall tips. I'm sorry. My fall tips, I'm all messed up right now. I'm not going to be throwing none of this lizards or salamanders or brush hogs this year during the fall. I'm going to try to get some tubes. I'm going to go with dark tubes this year. I'm going to be going for some tubes, see how that works out. Brush hogs work good. They catch a lot of fish. They do their job. They're all around good bait. I'm not taking anything away from that. What I'm taking away from is I'm targeting stuff near the top, in the middle, or at the top of the water. What do they call it? Water channels, whatever. So I don't really want to go deep because the fish are going to be up top feeding more. Trying to bulk up all that weight. So I'm just going to stay away from them salamanders. My cotton candy. That's my flukes. Sorry. That's my flukes. My cotton candies. Not going to be throwing them this year. But I'm not going to throw them alone. I have this good setup. Here's cotton candy. One of my favorite colors. It's just a favorite color to me. It's a fantastic looking work. I just bought it just for looks. I hadn't even caught a fish off this shit. But I put it on the sandstone. If I can get it on there. Look at that. And tell me that's not a perfect little setup. That looks like a bait fish to me. Let's see if I can get the camera closer. That looks like a bait fish to me. So I'm going to be trying these two colors out. I might even put on one of my flukes as a trailer worm. Or if I want to get down and get jiggy with it, I put on, it's purple. I forget the color. I didn't get another package of this. I ran out so quick. But, well, I don't even know why I'm putting it on the blue one. I need to be putting it on my peanut butter and jelly. Did I leave it out there? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, I didn't. I went over it already. I have to cut that part out. Run that bad boy on it. That's a pretty good color scheme right there. Can't really tell. I guess it's the lighting. It's weird. I'm gonna try that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that on now. For the next time I go fishing, which would probably be probably Thursday. I hadn't been going. I've had a lot of things going on here lately, so good colors, good little scheme I got going on there. So I'm gonna try that out this year. See how that's gonna go. But one thing I can say is it's gonna be a pretty good year because the stuff that I've got picked out, for this year is going to be pretty decent, honestly. And the last worm that I'll throw, Black Fire, and it's by Luck Strike. Lucky Strike. No, I think it's just Luck Strike. Some curl-tail worms. Old favorite. I might throw it. I don't know. I like to wacky rig these because it's got a perfect spot in the middle. And I'll wacky rig off of underwater structures. If I feel there's underwater structure, I can pretty much knock it out with a curl tail. And this curl tail will go on this red spinner bait that I don't even know why I got. I guess I was just like, I'm gonna get one of every color kind of thing. I think that's what I'm thinking. But no, that's my fall setup. Remember, I'm going to braided line. I'm getting out of summer. I'm getting out of the mono. It's time to go into fall and start pitching into heavy cover. I'm going to start jigging more. I'm going to start doing jerk baits more. I'm going to try to get bigger jerk baits. Put all these bad boys up. I'm going to try to get them all my ducks in a row this year on my fishing setups. I'm set up for every day. That's my fall setups. This is Smalls Outdoors, and I'm over and out. Just remember, 5 more casts.